Have you ever felt that sharp, nagging pain shooting down your leg, maybe even tingling into your feet, making every step feel like a chore? If you're nodding along right now, you're not alone. So many of us over 60 have had those moments where we're just trying to get through the day, maybe walking to the kitchen or stepping out to check the mail, and suddenly, there it is, that ache that stops us in our tracks. It's frustrating, isn't it? You want to move freely, enjoy the little things like a stroll in the yard or playing with the grandkids, but instead, you're stuck wondering why your body's acting up. Well, if that sounds familiar, there's a good chance you're dealing with sciatica, a tricky kind of nerve pain that starts in your lower back and runs all the way down to your feet. It's more common than you might think, especially as we get older. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to keep you sidelined. Sciatica isn't just a little stiffness or a tired muscle. It's that pesky sciatic nerve, the longest one in your body, getting irritated or pinched somewhere along the line. Maybe it's from sitting too long, an old injury flaring up, or just the way our spines shift with time. Whatever the cause, when it flares, it can feel like a jolt of electricity, a burning ache, or even a numbness that makes your toes feel like they're not quite there. And for those of us who've lived a good 60 years or more, it's not just about the discomfort. It's about what it takes away. The freedom to walk without wincing, the ease of standing up after a rest, the joy of moving through your day without that constant reminder in your legs. But here's what's exciting. You don't have to just grin and bear it. There are simple, gentle ways to ease that pain, to calm that nerve down, and get you back to walking freely again, without needing anything fancy or complicated. Today, we're going to walk through 6 ways to soothe that sciatica pain affecting your feet. Things you can start doing right now to feel better. These aren't quick fixes that promise the world. They're practical, down-to-earth steps that can reduce that nerve pain, boost your mobility, and bring a little more lightness back to your life. We're talking about things you can do at home, with stuff you already have, to make a real difference. So, let's dive in and get started with the first way. Because the sooner we ease that ache, the sooner you can feel like yourself again. One of the simplest, kindest things you can do for your sciatic nerve is to give it some warmth. Heat has this wonderful way of relaxing those tight muscles that might be pressing on the nerve, loosening things up so the pain doesn't feel so sharp. You don't need anything special, just a heating pad, a warm towel, or even a hot water bottle will do the trick. Picture this. You're sitting in your favorite chair after a long day, and your lower back's starting to grumble, sending that familiar sting down your leg. Grab that heating pad. Maybe it's one you've had tucked away since the kids were little, and set it on low or medium. Rest it right where you feel that ache starting, usually around your lower back or hip, and let it sit there for about 15 or 20 minutes. You'll feel the warmth sinking in, almost like it's melting away some of that tension. A friend in her late 60s tried this after months of hobbling around her kitchen. She'd heat up a damp towel in the microwave, wrap it in a dry one, and settle in with a cup of tea. She swore it was like giving her back a little hug, and after a week or two, she could stand at the sink without that burning running down to her toes. It's such an easy start, isn't it? You're not twisting yourself into knots or buying expensive gear, just letting a little warmth do the work. And the best part is how it sets you up to move better, because when those muscles relax, your nerve gets a break. That brings us right into the second way, something that builds on that relief and gets you gently moving again. Stretching might sound like the last thing you want to do when your leg's acting up, but hear me out. It's not about pushing hard or overdoing it. It's about giving that sciatic nerve a little space, easing the pressure so it doesn't keep screaming at you. One of the gentlest stretches you can try is something you can do right on your couch or bed. No standing required if that's tough right now. Lie flat on your back, maybe with a pillow under your head if that feels better. Bend both knees so your feet are flat on the surface. Then slowly bring one knee up toward your chest, holding it with your hands. You don't need to pull hard, just enough to feel a light stretch in your lower back and hip. Hold it there for about 20 or 30 seconds, breathing nice and easy. Then switch to the other leg. A neighbor in his 70s started doing this every morning after waking up stiff. He'd felt that sciatica pain creeping into his heels for months. After a few days, he noticed he could get out of bed without that first step making him wince. It's like you're telling that nerve, hey, take it easy. There's room here. And it listens, bit by bit. These 2 steps, warmth and a simple stretch, they're like a 1-2 punch that starts calming things down without asking too much of you. And as we keep going, we'll build on that, finding more ways to quiet that pain and get your feet feeling freer. There's something else coming up that's just as easy. Something you can do while you're sitting down with your morning coffee. And it's all about keeping that relief rolling. Stick with us, because every little bit we talk about here is a step toward walking without that ache holding you back. If you've got a heating pad handy, drop a 1 in the comments. We'd love to know if you're giving it a try. So, we've started this journey together with a couple of gentle ways to ease that sciatica pain nagging at your feet, using a little warmth to relax those tight spots, and a simple stretch to give your nerves some breathing room. It's amazing how something as basic as a warm towel or pulling your knee in can start to shift things, isn't it? You might have felt that first hint of relief already, that moment where the ache doesn't bite quite as hard. And that's what we're after here, building on that feeling, step by step, so you can walk through your day without that sciatic nerve calling all the shots. We're not done yet though, because there are more easy, everyday things you can do to keep that momentum going, things that fit right into your routine without turning your world upside down. Let's keep it rolling with something you can try while you're sipping your morning coffee or watching the evening news, adjusting how you sit. It might sound too simple to make a difference, but hear me out. When we sit for a long time, especially if we're slouched or crossing our legs, it can put extra pressure on that sciatic nerve, making it grumble all the way down to your toes. Picture yourself settled into your favorite armchair, maybe with a paper in hand, and your back's curved forward, one leg tucked over the other. It feels comfy at first, but after a while, that familiar sting starts creeping in. A friend in her late 60s noticed this. She'd sit through her shows every night, legs crossed tight, and by the time she stood up, her foot felt like it was buzzing. So, she tried something different. She started sitting with both feet flat on the floor, her back straight against a cushion, hips even. Nothing fancy, just a small tweak. After a few days, she said it was like her legs got a break, and that buzzing didn't kick in as fast. It's not about sitting stiff like you're in school again. Just aim to keep your hips level and your feet planted, maybe with a little pillow behind your lower back if that feels good. You can even shift every half hour or so, standing up for a quick stretch before settling back in. It's a quiet way to tell that nerve, hey, no need to flare up, we're good here. And the best part, you're already sitting anyway. Might as well make it work for you. That little change can set the stage for feeling better when you're up and moving, which brings us right into something else that's just as doable, walking, but doing it smart. Now, walking might feel like the last thing you want when your leg's acting up, but it's not about pushing through the pain. It's about taking it slow and steady, letting your body ease into it. Sciatica loves to tighten everything up, your back, your hips, even your calves, and a gentle walk can loosen that grip, getting blood flowing without rattling the nerve too much. Think about starting small, maybe just to the end of your driveway and back, 5 or 10 minutes at a time. Keep your steps easy, your shoulders relaxed, and if you've got a cane or a sturdy stick, don't be shy about using it for balance. Someone in his 70s tried this after weeks of hobbling from his couch to the fridge. He'd shuffle out to his porch, lean on the railing, and take a slow lap around the yard. At first, he could barely make it without that ache flaring, but he kept at it, a little more each day. After a couple of weeks, he was walking to his neighbor's fence, and that numbness in his toes wasn't as stubborn. It's like your legs start to remember how to move without fighting you every step. The trick is to listen to yourself. If it starts hurting more, ease off and rest. Pair it with that heat from earlier, and you've got a nice rhythm going. Warm up, walk a bit, then relax. It's all about keeping things flowing, which leads us into something that ties it all together, paying attention to how you stand and move through your day. Posture's one of those things we don't think about much until it's off, but it can make a world of difference with sciatica. When we slouch or lean too far one way, like when you're washing dishes or waiting in line, it can pinch that nerve even more, sending that sting right down your leg. A neighbor in her early 70s figured this out the hard way. She'd stand at her sink, one hip cocked to the side, and by the time she was done, her foot was throbbing. So, she started standing straighter, feet shoulder-width apart, weight even on both sides. She'd imagine a string pulling her up from the top of her head, keeping her spine long. It wasn't overnight, but she noticed her legs didn't tire out as fast, and that throb eased up. You can try it too. Next time you're brushing your teeth or waiting for the kettle, stand tall, shoulders back, knees soft. If you're lifting something light, like a bag of groceries, bend at your knees instead of your back. It's not about being perfect. It's about giving that nerve less to complain about. That neighbor, she started doing this every chance she got, and she swears she can get through her chores now without that old pain creeping into her heels. It's funny how these little shifts, sitting better, walking gently, standing tall, start to add up, isn't it? They're like pieces of a puzzle that fit into your day without much fuss. And we're not stopping here. There's more to come that builds on this. Ways to keep that relief growing so you can feel lighter on your feet. We've got something up next that's all about cooling things down when the pain's hot. And it's just as simple as what we've talked about so far. Keep with us, because every bit of this is about getting you back to walking freely, one easy step at a time. If you're ready to tweak how you sit, drop a 2 in the comments. We'd love to hear how it goes for you. We've been building something pretty special together, haven't we? It started with that gentle warmth to loosen up those tight spots, and a simple stretch to give your sciatic nerve a little room to breathe. Then we moved into tweaking how you sit, walking with care, and standing a bit taller. Little shifts that start to chip away at that nagging pain running down to your feet. It's amazing how these everyday things, these quiet moments you can slip into your routine, begin to add up. You might have already noticed a difference. Maybe your legs don't ache quite as much when you stand up, or that tingling in your toes isn't as loud as it used to be. That's what we're after here, that feeling of taking back control so you can move through your day without that sciatic nerve calling the shots. And now, we're ready to round it out with one more way to ease that pain, something that complements everything we've talked about and brings it all home. This last step is all about cooling things down when that sciatica flare-up feels hot and angry. We've used warmth to relax those muscles, but sometimes, when the pain's sharp or your leg feels swollen after a long day, a little cold can work wonders. It's like giving your nerve a chance to settle when it's firing on all cylinders. You don't need anything fancy. An ice pack, a bag of frozen peas, or even a cold, damp cloth will do the trick. Imagine you've been on your feet a bit too long. Maybe you were pottering around the kitchen or standing in line at the store, and that burning ache starts creeping from your hip down to your heel. Grab that ice pack, wrap it in a thin towel so it's not too harsh on your skin, and rest it where the pain's loudest. Maybe your lower back, your hip, or even the back of your thigh. Leave it there for about 10 or 15 minutes, just long enough to calm things down. A friend in his late 60s tried this after a day of yard work left his foot throbbing. He'd sit on his porch, cold pack on his hip, and sip some water. He said it was like turning down the volume on that pain, and he could walk inside without limping as much. It's such a simple switch, isn't it? Warmth when it's tight, cold when it's inflamed. Two sides of the same coin, working together to keep that nerve from taking over. You can alternate them too. Start with heat to loosen up, then cool it off if the ache flares back. That friend, he got into a rhythm with it, and it made his evenings so much easier. No more dreading that shuffle to bed. It's all about listening to what your body's telling you, picking the right tool for the moment. And when you pair that with sitting smarter, walking gently, and standing tall, you've got a handful of ways to keep that sciatica in check. Ways that don't ask you to overhaul your life or spend a fortune. As we pull all this together, it's clear how much these little steps can shift things. Think about where we started, that jolt or burn running down your leg, making every move a negotiation. Sciatica is a stubborn thing, especially for those of us over 60, when our backs and hips have carried us through decades of ups and downs. But these 6 ways, warming up those tight spots, stretching gently, sitting with care, walking slow and steady, standing strong, and cooling it down, they're like a toolbox you can keep close. They're not about fighting your body or forcing it into something it's not ready for. They're about working with it, giving that nerve a break, so it doesn't keep stealing your steps. That guy with the yard work, the woman who tweaked her sitting, the neighbor standing straighter, they all found that these small changes started to lighten the load, bit by bit. Maybe you're feeling that too. A little more ease, a little less wince when you get up. What's so wonderful about this is how it fits into your day. You don't need to carve out hours or track down some rare gadget. That heating pad's probably in a drawer somewhere. That stretch can happen while you're watching TV. And adjusting how you sit's just a matter of paying attention. Walking's already something you do. Now it's just about doing it with a little more kindness to yourself. Standing tall's free. And that bag of peas in the freezer's been waiting for a job. It's all right there, ready to help you feel steadier, freer, like your legs are yours again. And that's the heart of it, isn't it? We've lived long enough to know what matters, getting through the day with a smile, keeping up with the people we love, enjoying those quiet moments without that ache tagging along. These steps aren't just about easing pain. They're about bringing back that spark, that sense of moving through life on your terms. So, what do you say? Ready to give your feet that freedom again? Maybe tonight, you'll try that ice pack when the pain's hot. Or tomorrow, you'll sit a little straighter with your coffee. Whatever feels right, start there and let it grow. We'd love to hear how it's going. Drop a note in the comments and tell us what's working for you. Press 1 if you're giving heat a go. 2 if you're trying that stretch. Or just share your story. We're all ears. If this has helped you even a bit, give it a thumbs up down below. It's a little way to say you're with us. And if you want more ideas like these, hit that subscribe button, because living well shouldn't stop at 60 or 70 or any age. You've got this, and we're right here with you, cheering you on. Here's to walking freely again, to lighter steps and brighter days. Take care, and we'll see you soon.